And good afternoon. Welcome to the Pigskin Report. I'm John Williams, along with Morgan Smith from Texarkana Game Day. And Morgan, we have got some big matchups tonight to talk about. I'll tell you what. Now, we're going to save what we probably consider the best for last. But first, let's kind of look back at what happened last week. And where were you guys last week?
We were at Arkansas High.
That's right. You were at Arkansas High with me as the Razorbacks opened their conference season against Magnolia. That game was a good game to watch as far as a fan is concerned.
You know, Coach Norton had to be happy with his team. I think they had 5 or 6 takeaways.
Oh, yeah.
Offense, the running game looked good, put up 30 points.
Torrey Blair was doing good behind that. And also the other running back, which his name escapes me right now, number 24. We had the wrong name up there on their roster, and they said, "Oh, that's James." They came up after a while and said, "That's James. That's so and so." And I admit I don't remember his name, but 24 was helping Torrey Blair out a lot.
Well, I was impressed by that football team. Taking a couple of weeks off, coming out putting up 30 against a district team in the fashion they did. You know, Magnolia was moving the ball. The defense stepped up big. Like when it counted, that fumble on the 1 yard line,
huge.
Oh man! And then went down and scored, I think.
That's right. And they had the big return.
Oh yeah,
for a touchdown. And Larry Jefferson was on fire on the defense.
Yeah, man. They had so many good takeaways. Hearing Coach Norton speak to the team after the game, really, really impressed with that Arkansas High team.
So Arkansas High came back from the 2 weeks off. They were a little rusty in the beginning, but once they got rolling, they put up the points, and we kind of saw that coming, and so congratulations to them. Texas High, we'll talk about them. They went down to always tough John Tyler, and John Tyler has been a nemesis of Texas High ever since I was a kid. And it was a hard-fought contest. Of course, we weren't there, but from the reports, it was a hard-fought contest. 16-0 was the final score. Texas High defense, once again, obviously did a good job holding JT to 16.
Yeah, you know, JT has 2 Division I athletes. One of them's committed to Texas, plays running back, free safety. You know, if you give up 16 points in a high school football game, that's probably winning football. Texas High was without their starting quarterback, and I'm sure it obviously, made an effect. They didn't have as much experience.
Had to go with the sophomore.
Yeah, didn't have as much experience as they normally did. Tracy Cooper still played a great game. They just, they couldn't find the end zone. Clayton Smith had like 20 tackles with 2 sacks. They showed out. The defense is a strong point of that. I mean, in my opinion, there's just no way they lose that game.
If their quarterback was in, it would have been a different contest.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I've said before, Texas High is a good football team. I was really surprised by the score. I was not surprised by them only putting up 16 points. Right. The defense was really, really good. I was surprised by the shutout, but Coach Stanford told me they had a couple drop balls in the end zones that would have been touchdowns. Had a run called back that would have set them up to score. So a lot of things just didn't go their way. That's life. Yeah,
I heard that from what I heard from the game, they were doing great 20-20. It's just when they got inside that red zone, they had a few problems or whatever. I guess with the inexperience at quarterback, probably.
Look for them to bounce back this week. I think McKinney North comes to town, and I'm really excited to see they're a high-scoring offense. I'm really excited to see what this defense does to them.
Yeah, that defense is stout for Texas High, no doubt about it. Let's go to Liberty Ilo, where they surprised some people in hanging with Argyle there. In fact, matter of fact, they had the lead for quite a while in the first half.
We were all surprised.
Yeah.
We were sitting there watching that at the end of the first quarter when they were up, in the second quarter when they were up.
Right.
Almost the end of the third quarter they were up. Then they go down, then they go back up.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there just like, this is going to be the greatest upset of all time.
If they could have just could have stepped up a little bit more.
I'm on my phone texting everybody I know. Start videoing this game.
Yeah,
man. I know Coach King's really proud of his team. I know they go in every week expecting to win. They probably were the only people that expected them to win. And you play against an Argyle like that.
Absolutely.
Like I've been saying all year, wait till district. Let's see what they do against the Spring Hill. When they're
going to be tough.
When they're playing the number 1 ranked team in Division I and taking them down late fourth quarter.
And I mean, obviously that offense is clicking. It's starting to click for Liberty Island.
They had a defensive touchdown. Their defense made big stops. It wasn't all offense, but man, Damian Henderson. We talk about Tracy Cooper a lot. We talk about Bruce Garrett. That kid, Damian Henderson, is a bona fide athlete.
Yeah, they've got some athletes on that Liberty Ilo team, and obviously from hanging with them and giving them a big scare, they are coming on. And like I said, Liberty Isle is not a team later on in the season that you're going to want to face.
No.
You're going to wish you hadn't, probably.
No. It's going to be funny when they get in the first round of the playoffs and they're playing some team who's got one loss and they're looking at Liberty Isle's record. And Liberty Isle comes in and beats the brakes off of them,
right.
you know.
And it's going to be embarrassing for the other guys.
Yeah.
And then finally, Pleasant Grove, of course, they continue to put up points big time as they went down to Tyler Chapel Hill and won that game 63-21. And that went pretty much the way we all thought it would.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a defensive guy. I love the defensive side of the football. So I was talking with Coach Fuller Tuesday, and you know, my deal is, man, you just had to let them put up points. And he was like, man, we had our third string in at one point, you know. And I said, well, how many yards you give up? And he was like 250, around 250, including the points they kind of gave up at the end that had no starters in. But you could tell whenever the first team came out, they scored quick, you know, so it's not like they were a bad team. I think
they've been putting up big points.
Yeah. Pleasant Grove, I mean, it is just at will, you know, against a normal football team. Right. I mean, they just look like the New England Patriots out there. You know what I mean?
Well, I know what you mean. And, you know, on offense, when you got that great offensive line, which they do, you got Harmon, who's just a gamer at quarterback, and then you got Bruce Garrett and the like running the ball. I mean, that's very tough for anybody to stop.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't want to play. I'm a grown man. I wouldn't want to play against that team.
Yeah, they might could beat the University of did I say that? University of Arkansas Razorbacks, but
well.
Well, they might could give them a scare anyway, but Pleasant Grove just dominated that game, and they're just rolling. I tell you what, let's take a break because we got to talk about what's going to be going on tonight across the area, and there is a lot going on. You're listening to the Pigskin Report on Pig 103.9 and 98.5 mypigradio.com. Welcome back to the Pigskin Report. I'm John Williams, alongside from Texarkana Game Day, Morgan Smith. And I tell you what, I'm a big fan of Texarkana Game Day. I know I get to go on there sometimes, but those guys that are on there week in, week out and going to all these events, my hat is off to you guys for covering all high school athletics and things associated with athletics, because like I said, it's not all just the football game. You guys are going to the pep rallies, the volleyball games, you're highlighting some of the cheerleaders, the drill team, bands and things like that. It's just great. We appreciate what you're doing
over
there. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on tonight across the area. And from what I count, there are three homecomings going on at the same time. I didn't realize that until I started looking everything up.
No, I guess nobody got together.
Yeah, they're all going to have their homecomings practically tonight. Now, let's talk about the one that's going to be on the road. That's Arkansas High at Camden Fairview. And talk about what should be a really good conference district game. That should be it. Camden Fairview is always a good football team, but they're tougher this year than they have been in quite some time. And so I think it's going to be a pretty good test to see how Arkansas High does over in Camden. I don't know if you've ever been to Camden, but they have got a fantastic football stadium over there.
I haven't.
It's a great venue to watch a football game from, and it's worth making the trip if you're a Hog fan to go over there and check it out. But it is a great stadium, a fairly new stadium, comparatively speaking. But Camden is one of the favorites this year, along with Arkansas High and the Little Rock School as well. And so this is going to go a long way on deciding the order as you go into the playoffs.
Yeah, so I was watching some film that we have. We had caught Coach Norton talking to the team post-game. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the things he talked about. You know, next week, you know, this is a state championship kind of game right here. We got to be up for it. You know, they came out injury-free, to my knowledge. He spoke very highly of that football team, and, you know, but he's just got so much experience. He's going to find a way to stay in the football game if his team's not better. You know, his team, you know, it's hard to compare, you know, them playing against like a Texas High.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Texas High's got all these athletes. But on Arkansas, I think it's a great test for them.
Yeah, it's as you mentioned with playing Texas High. Arkansas High is going to have a good shot at winning every game the rest of the season as far as the regular season is concerned. But Camden and the Little Rock School will be the toughest matchup. But I was impressed, and you were there on the improvement from the young quarterback Braylon Bishop. He had so much better touch on his throws on Friday night than he did earlier.
I'll be honest, I couldn't believe it. I didn't, truth be told, you know, we're talking about high school kids, and I know he's a great athlete, but truth be told, I didn't think he was going to be able to make that improvement. in 21 days.
Yeah.
And, man, he looked like a different quarterback.
Completely different.
So, a couple things maybe we didn't take into consideration. Last time we saw him play, he was playing against a top defense in the state. We didn't know that at the time.
Right.
So, playing against some normalcy, he wasn't having to get the ball out near as quick. He probably was. He probably didn't have to improve that much. It's just he wasn't having to get rid of it as fast.
Right.
But I was really surprised in how well he played, and I probably shouldn't have been surprised. I just didn't take those things into consideration. But going forward, I mean, he's a guy.
I think he's just going to improve every week, going with the experience that he's getting. So I look for Arkansas High to have the defense going, Larry Jefferson and crew. I think it'll be a close game, but I think Arkansas High should prevail over Camden Fairview. But I think it's going to be one of the better ones in Arkansas to watch this week. Texas High's homecoming against McKinney North. As we mentioned, McKinney North got a very good football team, and Texas High's going to have to rely on that defense.
Well, defense wins
right.
games and championships.
Yep.
Coach Stanford is going to adjust this offense to better suit their starting quarterback now. And we'll see how that looks. We did some stuff yesterday morning with some of the players, some green screen things, and they were all talking about we're going to make some scheme changes on offense, and we're going to try to get Tracy out in the open field versus in the middle mostly. We're going to get the wide receiver in the open field, a lot of one-on-one coverage. But my favorite side of the football, defensive side, McKinney North puts up big-time points. I hadn't seen them play or anything. I'm just looking at stats. They look like a big-time football program.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm excited to see. Man, this defense is so good.
It is something else. And if Texas High can just manage from the 20 to the 20 and get it on in there and score those touchdowns, they can stay right with McKinney North. And it's going to be homecoming, so it's going to be a crazy atmosphere there.
Yeah, I kind of hate we can't. Any other week we'd be at that football game. I kind of hate we can't be there. Wish them all the best. We'll have a camera on the sideline getting some film here and there, but man, it is
that's the thing I like about you guys is the fact that even though you have your Texas game day set excuse me, at a particular location, you do get a camera to a lot of these other games and get some footage and be able to
maybe when we're done I got something to tell you. I got something you probably know about, but I'll tell you that we're doing.
And then Liberty Ilo's homecoming is tomorrow night or tonight as well. La Vega, I don't know a lot about them. I just know that they're a good football team.
Well, I'll tell you, I heard somebody yesterday, and it kind of made me laugh. Somebody was like, well, who's Liberty Ilo playing? And the guy was like, the San Francisco 49ers,
yeah, they might as well.
And La Vega's that good.
Yeah.
La Vega's sitting in the third spot because their only loss was to Argyle. But once again, they just focus on coming out injury-free for Liberty Ilo. And who knows? After what we saw last week, that team just might not know how to finish yet. And let's keep in mind that they're playing the best team in the state. And they put up like that kind of fight.
Right.
They might pull off the upset.
Yeah, I mean, if they can not turn the ball over and limit the turnovers, Liberty Ilo is what I'm talking. If they can limit the turnovers, who knows? Like I said, they're getting better every week offensively, especially. They can give these guys a scare. You never know. So I mean, they got to play it on the field.
Man, I'm wishing them all. I would love to be sitting there. People say, man, look at this score. Look at this score.
It may be another one of those nights where we're getting that report from Liberty Ilo when they're ahead.
Oh, man, so, I sure hope so.
That would be great for Coach King because, I've met him once or twice. I like him a lot.
Oh, he's a coach of the future there. I mean, if you're a Liberty Ilo fan and you're not an avid fan, you're just looking at the schedule, do not worry about your program. It is in good hands.
It is in good hands. And then finally we get to the matchup of the night. Did I spill anything? Nope, nothing in it. The matchup of the night, Pleasant Grove hosting Carthage. I call it Goliath versus Goliath.
It's the biggest football game in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
There's a pretty strong rumor out there that I know that's probably true. University of Arkansas head coach is going to be at this football game, possibly flying in on a helicopter.
I wouldn't doubt it.
There's 3 different 247 Sports will be there with their main recruiting person is going to be in the house for that. Sideline to sideline will be. Some of the biggest names in high school football are going to be at this game. And I'm going to ask all of them, how often is it that you get to come to one place and see this kind of talent outside of a playoff game?
Absolutely.
And I'm assuming the answer is going to be never.
Never. It's number one against number one.
Yeah. It's nuts. We did a little thread this week, a little poll who's going to win. And it is it's crazy. It's almost like cheers and jeers. I'm sitting there having to moderate some of this stuff going on.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a healthy rivalry. This game, in the grand scheme of things, they're not going to meet each other in the playoffs.
Right. You don't have to worry about that. Don't have to worry about facing Carthage down the road.
Yeah, and I asked Coach Gibson, why, he was playing Carthage before PG was known to be good.
Right.
My question to him was, why even put him on the schedule? He's like, we want to play the best teams in the state.
Well, you're doing it.
And, no joke. And this game right here gives us an idea. Will give us an idea of how good we are, and and what we do need to work on. And here's what we do know: Carthage, 4 out of the last 5 years, won 4 state championships.
Right.
Even last year when they were down, went, I think, to the semifinals. PG has went to 2 straight state championship games. There's going to be, I think, 11 offered Division I athletes, and it may be 13 now, on the field Friday night at a 4A football game. Yeah. It's unheard of. And Coach Surratt just has a machine going on down there. Coach Gibson's creating his own dynasty. I'm really excited. I've not been excited for a football game, professional, college, or high school, like I am about this game right now.
Well, this one is one of those we always say it's always going to come down to turnover. Yeah, it will. This game is going to come down to whoever makes a mistake and a turnover at the wrong time, because they are so evenly matched. Last year's game went down to the very end down there.
Yeah.
And both teams are better this year than they were last year. So I think it's going to be tooth and nail all night, and it's going to come down to who gets the big turnover or something at the end of the game to win it.
It's definitely got all the feel of the PG versus Paris game. I think it'll come down to the end. I'm excited to see, their big-time players are on offense. They have an offensive lineman that's like 6'7", 360 pounds. They have a wide receiver that's committed to Arkansas, I believe. Their quarterback's committed somewhere. Their running back is a Division I running back. But our defense has 6 Division I players on it, I believe.
Yeah.
So
it's the best against the best.
Yeah, it's going to be a great football game. I'm excited we're going to be there. I'm really excited to see how many people show up to this football game.
It's going to be just absolutely crazy with it being homecoming and everything else besides that.
My dad was wanting to come. I was like, man, you better get there early. And he was like 6:30, and I was like, man,
nope, that's too late.
You might get there at 5:30.
Yeah,
I'm not even joking.
No, you're not joking. You got to get there really early. But, whoever wins it or whoever loses it, the season's going to go on. Like I said, they're not going to face each other in the playoffs. It's going to be more of a kind of a pride thing when it's over or whatever. I just wish the best of luck to Pleasant Grove. I hope they beat them, but it's going to be the classic matchup.
Yeah, 1 versus 1. I can't even find online where a game like this has been played outside of a playoff game.
Right.
It just doesn't happen.
It's like the state championship of the 2 divisions of 4A, but you get to go on after this no matter what happens.
Both of these teams preseason were picked to win the state championship in Division I, Division II.
Yeah, so the best are playing the best, and it's going to be crazy out at Pleasant Grove. Good luck to the Hawks. Good luck to all the area teams. Morgan, thanks for joining us again.
Yeah. Real quick, did you see what we launched last week with Game Day Junior?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, we have big plans for that. We're going to be covering 8th grade all the way down to Little League.
And, boy, people get enthusiastic about the youngsters.
Oh, man. It's just another aspect of us building the brand, including everybody. And let me tell you, I went to a Little League football game on Saturday. I don't know if you saw that. I had the best time I've had in a long time. These little kids are in 2nd grade playing tackle football. It was great.
They love it.
It was great. I don't know if you saw this one kid for the Texarkana Leopards made this move, and it was straight out of Ezekiel Elliott's book.
I did see that, I think.
It has over 20,000 views right now. It's crazy. It's just...
People love the kids.
Oh, no. I do, too.
Yeah, we do, too. Be sure and get out and support your favorite team tonight, and good luck to all the area high school football teams and all the squads, the cheerleaders, drill team, band, everything that goes along with it. And good luck to them. And join us again next week for another edition of the Pigskin Report. It is 103.9, 98.5, mypigradio.com.
Welcome to Pleasant Grove Hawks Stadium. Man, what a night for football. It is 5:45, and these people are just flowing in right now.
This is exciting stuff.
So we're here with the Chicks Choctaw Girls. I'm Morgan Smith, Craig Jenkins, Katie and Lizzie Baker. Big-time football background.
Yes, a little bit.
So y'all both have national championship rings at University of Texas.
Katie's got the national championship ring. I was a year later than that. I missed out.
You ever wear it around the house anyway?
Well, if only my fingers. She's got the tiniest fingers. I can't fit anything. It's ridiculous.
What's an exciting time? I know your dad was a football coach. You've been around football your entire life. Tell us, how does the buzz right now feel to you?
Oh, man, this is exciting stuff. This is what you just love about East Texas football Friday nights. This is the entertainment. Everyone's got to be here clearly early and ready to cheer on their team.
Let's talk about some PG district games. We'll get back into Carthage PG here in just a second.
Okay.
Let's run through how the teams are doing in Pleasant Grove's district.
Well, can we start with Gilmer?
Tell us what Gilmer's up to.
Okay, let's start with Gilmer since Katie and I both work there. Last week was a phenomenal week for them. I think y'all called this game. They beat Newton in a shutout.
We did all call that, yeah.
They snapped the 33-game win streak that was leading the state.
Well, don't come to Gilmer if you have a winning streak.
Exactly. Right? So that was awesome. And Katie, you want to tell them a little bit about some of the players to look for in the future?
So PG has Gilmer on the schedule in a couple of weeks. It'll be the Jamboree week for Gilmer. Daryl Bush is their running back. He has posted up 309 yards so far in the running game. Mason Hurd is their quarterback. He has 877 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, and a couple of INTs. And his main go-to receiver is Dylan Llewellyn. And their defense is led by...
Yeah, their defense is led by Grant Kuchar. But here's the deal. I think a lot of people have slept on Gilmer's defense. Now, year after year, you hear about how explosive Gilmer's offense is, and their defense, you know, it's not up there as a lot of people think they should be. But this year, with the shutout against Newton, holding Carthage to 24 points, I think their defense is coming on strong this year.
Well, I mean, that particular style of offense, you're going to give up points.
Yeah.
You know, with the quick scoring offense. We know Gilmer has the athletes. So I'm going to need y'all to start scouting these 8th graders for us all the way up. We know everything about them.
They're a good group.
What about Todd Marshall? We're talking about some of the district teams here. Of course, you know, they're big Gilmer fans, and they have Gilmer losing to Bullard tonight.
No, we don't.
I was going to say, I'm not really sure how big of Gilmer fans they are if they have that matchup. No, again, Gilmer is much improved defensively this year. I mean, obviously their stats speak for themselves, but even the word of mouth is out about how much improved they are on defense, which, you know, in the past they are solid on defense, and offensively, you know, people say that offense, how dynamic it is, but they are getting stops, and to shut out Newton, who is on a long win streak. You said the number of games, and again, that's very impressive. And the Holder Carthage team that has a lot of firepower to 24 points and play them in a close game. So it'll be a couple of weeks away. They'll be coming here, and it'll be a big-time district matchup with playoff implications.
Like we talked earlier, Gilmer had a good game against Carthage, and I feel like coming off of that game to play Newton, it made it a little bit easier, and that's why they took advantage of Newton.
And not only did they blank Newton, but they only allowed Newton 126 total yards on offense. That's it. And
That's
Newton was
impressive.
scoring 76, 56, and 20 points already earlier in the season.
Well, who else we got? Who else is in the district? Spring Hill?
Spring Hill, that's right.
Are they getting better?
They are.
They are improving. Johnny
goodness.
Leviere's got them going. They're 2-3 right now, but they're making a long trek down to Silsbee, Texas, wherever
Where
the
is
heck
that
that is.
3
I've
hours
got
away.
No idea.
I looked it up on Google. It's 3 hours away.
So they're having to trek down to Silsbee. Silsbee is 2-2 this year, but they last year were a state, what was it?
Semifinals.
Yes, they won their region last year. Lost to Cuero in the state semifinals to go to the state championship game.
Yes. So,
And they're 2-2 this year. Probably lost a little bit from attrition, but they're still a solid squad.
Yeah.
so the person to look for is their quarterback, Gage White. He's currently got over 1,000 yards in offense this year
Spring
for
Hill
Spring Hill.
quarterback?
Spring Hill
Yes.
quarterback. He's got over 1,000 yards, 7 TDs, 97 rushing yards as well. So I think going into that game, he'll be the one to look for.
They have a really big running back. I saw a picture. I don't know if they're starting running back, but he looked like Craig out there.
So it's really, this game's going to come down to how does Spring Hill attack Silsbee after a 3-hour road trip?
Oh, yeah, that's got to be horrible.
And
It
I
seems
agree.
like Spring Hill turned into a really good team once they got rid of Morgan.
Tell them how good we were. Tell them how good we were.
good.
We were very good.
We were
I'm not
very
gonna lie.
good. Yes.
5-5 was always good in Spring Hill.
How many rounds did we go at Spring Hill when you were there?
That senior season, I think 12 wins.
Well, that is impressive.
Yeah.
I do think.
Ran into a Dangerfield team that was just.
Yeah, a little salty.
And Spring Hill, I believe, is a sleeper team to make the playoffs. I think they can be a team that could come out of this district as a playoff team.
And that would
for
be huge for their school. I mean, that has not happened for several years, and that would be a huge building block for Coach LeVere.
Yes, for sure. And they've lost a lot of. That's the thing. The last couple of years have been really close games. Very close games, just not being able to finish. That's been the thing. They just have not been able to finish and get that one. But once it starts, they have an opportunity to do some good things.
Yeah. So y'all want to talk about Pittsburgh next?
That's who PG has.
I cannot believe.
First game in district.
I can't believe Kilgore lost to Pittsburgh.
And a close one.
Yes.
Where they playing at Pittsburgh?
Well, I'm not sure where it was.
I'm not sure.
13-12.
I just don't know
the
how.
final is 13-12. Yeah.
I think Kilgore's down this year, but still, it's Kilgore and 13-12.
They started the season 3-0. Texas High came to town. They lost 28 or 30-14, and then go lose to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's having a really down year.
They are, but I think it's from a young quarterback, basically, or an inexperienced one. You know, they had a really great quarterback last year.
He was great.
And the quarterback that they have this year is Kamari McCain, who he's had 308 yards and 2 touchdowns, but 4 INTs. And that just shows you inexperienced, young guy maybe. And so that he's got 109 rushing yards. So I think they're finally starting to gel a little bit as a team.
Yeah. And,
which is perfect for district play.
And like you said, Pittsburgh's going to always have athletes. They're very athletic. Again, a regional finals last year, graduated 3 very talented players, including the quarterback, Jalen Jimerson. But they're very well coached. Coach Baca does a great job there. Baca does a great job. And that was one of the things you're talking about gelling. We played them early in the year here in October, and it was a close game at first, but we ended up pulling away towards the middle to the end of the game. But it's a completely different matchup in the regional final in December. It was a close game, and it came down to the last possession, and it was a 3-point win for Pleasant Grove, but they were much improved.
Yes.
So I hear Liberty Ilo is playing the Kansas City Chiefs tonight.
Just a little bit. Who put La Vega on their schedule?
I have no idea.
Please
This
explain
schedule
that
they
to
have
me.
is crazy.
I can name a number of teams they could have did without
last
this year.
week, I don't know if y'all were watching, they had Argyle down the entire first half.
Wow.
Most of the third quarter, and we're sitting over at Arkansas High like, dude, this is going to be the greatest upset ever.
Yeah.
I mean, everything was working for them. And like I've been saying all season, they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, I'm telling you, they're going to make the playoffs. It's going to be the competition they're playing is just it's ridiculous. They're good. Remember I said that, y'all.
So are you?
Y'all remember? I've been saying this since week 2.
So are you picking Ellie over?
I want Ellie to do very good tonight, and I would love to see them pull off the upset.
But Pat Mahomes is not going to let that happen tonight.
The men at La Vega will have something to say about that, I do believe, because they don't have boys on the field there. So
Let's do this. Let's go up to Jay Davis. I think he has someone to interview up top the stands.
This is Jay Davis coming to you live at Hawk Stadium with Brian Poe, fellow alum. What do you think about tonight's game?
Pretty crowded, pretty big game.
Did you do anything different as far as show up a little bit earlier tonight?
Yeah, we showed up quite a bit early and already crowded, so evidently it wasn't early enough.
Well, what do you think about the facilities that we have going compared to what you and I graduated with?
Completely different universe. I mean, this was a practice field. The hill was still here because I
We
ran
used to
up
run
it,
it.
many times, but yeah, nothing like this.
Well, what do you think the final outcome of tonight's game is going to be?
I'm pretty positive Pleasant Grove's going to win.
Well,
I mean,
how many points? Make the call.
34-27.
You heard it from Brian Poe. PG with the win. Back to you, Morgan.
We are back. Let's have a segment. Let's talk about some area games going on around us before we get to this big PG Carthage game tonight. Tell us a little bit about Jefferson Bulldogs.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So Jefferson, they are killing it right now. They're averaging over 12 yards a carry on offense. Their running back is averaging 15 yards per rush.
And he sorry to interrupt, but he already has over 1,000 yards rushing, and we're only halfway through the season.
It's incredible. So on offense, they're pretty much a powerhouse. They're 5-0, 1-0 in district. So it's going to be a pretty good game. Hugh Springs, they got beat by Mount Vernon.
Who is undefeated.
And that's their only loss this year. I'm still going to take Jefferson this game. I'm going to go 42-28.
42-28? That's, Jefferson always has athletes. 1,000-yard rusher this early in the season?
Yes, and the offense per carry over 12 yards.
Did y'all happen to take a look at what kind of competition they've been playing this year?
I know they're 5-0, and I know we have mentioned them over the last several weeks, but I can't remember off the top of my head who they've actually played. But, I mean, Hugh Springs is going to be a nice little test. It'll show them really what Jefferson is made of, because Hugh Springs is not bad this year. I mean, they're going to play them tough.
They did get beat by Mount Vernon 35-21, so.
That's a district game for them, isn't it?
Yes, and it's a big district. I think there's 7 teams, so they're playing early.
So this is their second game of district already.
It's a big district, 7 teams,
Yeah. So, and the second, or another regional game that we're going to talk about is West Rusk and Gladewater. Pleasant Grove knows a little bit about Gladewater.
I don't know where West Rusk. I don't know where
West Rusk is either. Evidently, they look good.
They are. They are. They're 5-0, 1-0 in district. They beat Mineola last week, 26-2. So they took care of business pretty easily. The wide receiver and quarterback is putting up big numbers in both the air and the ground. Their quarterback is led by Jalen Shelton. He has 600 yards passing, 600 yards running already, and 10 rushing TDs.
That's good.
So it's
balanced.
pretty stout.
Yeah,
and then their defense, this is what stood out to me, their defense, though, has 3 players who have over 50 tackles already on the season.
What?
Yes.
The thing for me, though, is when you have a quarterback who's already got 600 passing, 600 yards running, if he goes down, that's a season changer right there. So they're just hoping he stays healthy.
Absolutely.
How did Gladewater do last week?
They beat Winsboro 16-12.
Really?
Yes.
And that Gladewater, you're talking about that matchup, that could very well be a playoff matchup. West Rusk made the playoffs last year. Gladewater's very strong. They'll make the playoffs as well. So you could see that matchup, second or third round, possibly a regional final game if it matches up that way. So that could very easily see that matchup again in just a few short months.
Speaking of a couple of local games, Liberty Ilo bring in La Vega. It's their homecoming tonight. Craig, your Texas High Tigers are bringing in McKinney North homecoming as well. How do you see that one playing out?
Texas High is just going to have to bounce back with the loss of their quarterback. They've played a sophomore, hadn't had much playing time. They threw him in against John Tyler last week. The defense was really fast. I think he tried to get adjusted, maybe a little bit late. So hopefully that'll, make it better for him this week.
Well, this team they're playing is averaging over 50 points a game. We know how good this Texas High defense is. They're giving up less than, I think, 17 points a game right now. I mean, so I'm kind of excited to see what happens to that. I hate they're without, the number one quarterback they started the year with. But Coach Stanford told me he's changed his scheme a little bit. He's going to base the offense around a lot of his strengths. And, we should see a different offense tonight. And, of course, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of Tracy Cooper.
That's what's going to be a big thing in the game is if Texas High's offense can give that defense some time to rest. If not, it'll probably be a blowout.
Well, last week we saw the same thing. John Tyler has athletes at every position. One of them committed to the University of Texas. Mm-hmm. And the way they played that game, only giving up 16 points, they were out there a lot.
Yeah.
Just to say the least. But let's get back on track here. Tell me about, Atlanta. I know they had a really big win over Redwater last week.
63-7, and New Boston got beat by Jefferson, but it was pretty close. I mean, they scored some points, 24, but they got beat 42-24. So we're picking Atlanta. Lizzie picked it.
I've got it going 42-27 this week.
You think New Boston will put up 27?
I'm thinking.
I'm willing to.
Going off the momentum of scoring 24, maybe it's starting to work a little bit.
Well, I hope so. We want to see New Boston do well. That's a very tough matchup.
Yeah, I think it's a tough matchup for New Boston. Atlanta's they're clicking on all cylinders right now. It's another district game. I look for the Rabs to keep rolling.
I don't see 10 points. Maybe not even 10 points going off in that game. Personally, but you know football.
I'm going.
Hey, well, it's just wondering.
There's a reason you were at University of Texas on the football squad. All right.
But it is one of those things. Well, how is Atlanta going to approach this? But with New Boston 0-5, are they going to approach this as we're going to play down to their level, or are we going to show dominance?
Yeah.
So it's really how do the kids attack the game this week?
Yeah.
And the last game that we were going to talk about from the area in East Texas is Pine Tree versus Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, they're Pine Tree and Mount Pleasant are both 2-2. This matchup, they've got between the two of them, they've played 6 times in the last 6 years.
Yeah.
Pine Tree has won 4 of those matchups, but in their last 5 meetings, the score in the game has come down to 1 touchdown. So,
it'll be interesting to see how this one falls this week.
Yeah. And right now, the Pirates are leading the offense in that district with having 521 yards per game. They're putting on the board for offense. So, I mean, it's looking like I'm picking Pine Tree to win this game. They beat Hallsville last week, and Mount Pleasant got beat by White House 40-14 last week. So
let's talk about the game we're all here for now. Let's talk about Pleasant Grove versus Carthage. What do you think about it?
I'm fired up. I'm excited. I think you can see as people reporting, or you can see our fans out here. They're excited. Some of these fans have been standing in line for a long time. It's been hyped up now for all week. The talk's been in both communities, both excited, looking forward to it. Just a great atmosphere. We've got nice weather. It's cool.
Beautiful.
We've got the berm opened up and there are kids over there. It's just a very exciting night. Our student section's filling up on this side. They're ready to bring the fire tonight, our band and our showstoppers and our cheer. So we're just excited, looking forward to these Hawk fans, giving them something to cheer about tonight as we go out and do something, and just something special to experience. We're just enjoying the moment at this point, and it's just take the time to enjoy this moment as a fan and just all of us as school individuals, and I know our coaches and our kids have as well.
You know, I talked to Coach Gibson right after the pep rally. His mother's here, his dad's here. You know, he's here with his brother, childhood friends on the coaching staff, and he was like, "Man, I'm telling you, what you're witnessing right now, you will never see again."
Right.
He said, "This is special." And he's been waiting 40 years for this. I mean, that's what he told me. My main question to him was, homecoming. Why put a team like Carthage on the schedule? And he was like, for this right here, this environment. He said, we can play with anybody and we're not scared to play anybody. And that's the reason Carthage is on the schedule.
Yeah.
And, man, PG's loaded.
Yeah.
But so is Carthage.
So is Carthage. There are athletes on both sides of the field. And, like you mentioned about alumni and your family, from a personal note, I worked with Coach Surratt. Some of those guys over there, one of those guys was in my wedding. My brother played for Coach Surratt. He's here tonight. So we know people on both sides, but we're Pleasant Grove. We're black and gold. We bleed black and gold. So we're just excited about it. And again, athletes all over the field. There'll be a lot of guys on both sides that'll be playing on Saturdays, more than at the Division I, Division II, and so forth levels, Division 1AA or FB, FCS level. So just a great atmosphere and exciting.
Awesome. Thank you, Todd. Let's do this. Let's go to commercial break, and we will come back with one of the top podcasts in the state of Texas, Sideline to Sideline, with Grant and Terry.
Find yourself in need of emergency care, come see us at Texarkana Emergency Center. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We're locally owned with board-certified physicians for all your emergencies. We accept all private insurance. At Texarkana Emergency Center, we have on-site lab, pharmacy, x-ray, ultrasound, and CT. Come see us at Texarkana Emergency Center. Real ER without the wait. The next generation of emergency care.
Back live from Pleasant Grove Hawk Stadium. We're here with one of the top podcasts in the state of Texas, Sideline to Sideline with Grant and Terry. Man, it's got to be exciting for y'all during the football season.
Yeah, it is. We're on the road a lot. Get to see a lot of great football. I tell you, though, where we've been this year, and we've been pretty much all over the state, I don't think the atmosphere is going to be matched tonight. Anywhere we go after this, we're on the road in, Needville next week to see West Columbia, who's ranked in the top 10. Needville is probably going to be ranked in the top 10 next week. And that's a big game, but I don't think it'll have the atmosphere that we're going to see here tonight.
Oh, man. 20 offers so far, 20 players with offers at some level of college. Man, it's exciting. Number 1 versus number 2. How often do you see this? You've been doing this a long time.
Well, I mean, it's number 1 versus number 2, but I think what's more important, it's number 1 versus number 2 in East Texas. Once Pleasant Grove came onto the scene, and they won state, it kind of put Carthage on notice. Yeah. Carthage, ever since they've taken over in 2009, they've kind of been the bell cow of 4A, and now Pleasant Grove is trying to establish themselves. So to me, the Battle of East Texas is more important than the Battle of 1 versus 2 in the state.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
And, one thing also, how many times, it's very, very possible that Pleasant Grove wins the 4A Division II state championship this year. It's very possible that Carthage comes out and wins Division I. How many times after the state championship is played, you say, well, I wonder who would win when 4A Division I state champ plays 4A Division II state champ? Going to have our answer here tonight. Might have to wait till December, but we'll kind of know who the better team is.
We thought that was going to happen last year, but Liberty Hill and Cuero put an end to those dreams for these two teams.
So where all have y'all been this year? Y'all were here first game, right?
Yeah, we were Pleasant Grove and Paris. Then we went and saw Newton and West Orange Stark. Last week we were at Decatur, Glen Rose, and Canadian in Vernon, Canadian and Grapevine Faith in Vernon, because we do a 4A podcast and a 3A podcast.
Okay.
So far we've been, and then like you said, next week is Needville and West Columbia. Looks like Springtown might be on the list. We got a couple more West Texas trips.
Yeah.
And then we got a bunch of 3A schools that we're.
Where y'all based out of?
Dallas area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're right in the perfect spot. What do y'all think we're going to see tonight?
I think you're going to see exactly what we think we're going to see. We're going to see two top teams. Wouldn't shock me if early there's a little bit of that nervousness and you're going to see some mistakes. And I think this game's going to be won. I hate to be generic. It's going to be won between the Carthage offensive line and the Pleasant Grove defensive line. Yeah. We've talked about the bookends for the Hawks, but I mean, Carthage year after year after year, its offensive line is where everything is built. So you're getting strength versus strength. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's where the ball game's going to be played.
Have y'all seen very many 4A schools that's got the size on the lines that these two schools have?
Not many, no. And it's not just the lines.
Yeah.
It's the look and the physicality of the skill position players, which you don't see like you see, especially here at Pleasant Grove and Carthage.
I'll
just
tell you,
the size.
Them Pleasant Grove linebackers can hit. I ain't watched Carthage a whole lot.
There's a difference in 6'4", 340 fat and 6'4", 320 muscle. Yeah. And Grant has said it best on our show. When you see these teams, when you see the Pleasant Groves, you see the Carthages, you see the West Orange Starks, the Newtons, you don't look at their offensive and defensive line, you look at their skill position, you look at their secondary, and when your safety is sitting at 6'2", 220, you have the look of a state championship team.
Yeah.
That's right, just what he said, big boy football. It's two physical lines on both sides of the ball. This is going to look like old school SEC football, like LSU, Alabama. This is the high school version of it.
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt, that's right. I think that's Ore City, right? I don't know.
Besides all the miles that you guys do, this has to be a dream job for you guys.
Yeah, until it's time to drive back. We don't stay overnight.
At the end of the
game. When was it? We've been up to Abernathy and Bushland and all that around Amarillo and decided to pocket the hotel per diem, drive back in the middle of the night to Dallas. It's not so much of a dream job then, but yeah, for the most part, we're blessed.
Yeah, it's like Reggie Jackson said about ice cream. You like ice cream, but when you get fed to you by the gallons, about week 6 or week 7, we start going, is there any DFW games we can just go check real quick and be back home in 30 minutes if possible? But no, we have a blast. I've been doing this for 17 years. Me and him have been doing this for 12 years as a show, and we've always loved 4A and 3A because it's still this. You still get this. You could have the top 2 teams in the state playing in Dallas, and if it's not Allen or Plano, if it's any other school, there might not be 2,000 people there.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of one-team towns with one team.
I mean, that's
huge
where my love
crowds.
is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, to me, it's still in the small towns. I'm an East Texas guy. I grew up in Marshall, so for me, it's all about the one school towns. Even tip my hat to Longview, dadgummit. But you know I'm
a big Longview fan.
I'm a Marshall guy, so
you must like losing.
Yeah, we got our state champion first. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna throw the Buckeyes.
We won like 1930. What are you talking about? Won a long time before you won one.
But no, I think tonight, it's generic, but it's gonna come down to who makes the least mistakes.
Yeah.
That's where it came down last year. You look how that game ended, and it was a mistake that created Carthage to get that last minute touchdown. I see it playing out that same way. Not necessarily Carthage winning, but it's And you also got to realize, though, this is a non-district game, so how much are these coaches going to show? Carthage is infamous about what you see in Week 6 is not what you're going to see Week 10 and Week 11 and Week 12.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, when you get on this stage, like I am like tonight, on this stage with this atmosphere, I don't know about, coaches might keep it vanilla, but I guarantee you physically everybody's going to be pulling out all the stops. Carthage and Pleasant Grove both play huge on the big stage, and I think Carthage is known for doing that, winning the big games. I think the key here was in 2017 when Pleasant Grove got that Gilmer thing off their back.
Yeah.
They came in and they beat Gilmer. That to me says, A, Pleasant Grove has arrived, and B, Pleasant Grove can now play on the big stage and have no hiccups. Yeah. And I think that's huge. 2 years ago, this game was being played. People would have said, Carthage by 9, 10 points. But now Pleasant Grove has put, I think one of you guys said it, Pleasant Grove has put themselves on the map, and now
I definitely think
they can play with anybody anywhere.
Yeah, and watching Pleasant Grove this year, this has, to me, been the most unpredictable. Josh Gibson, from game to game, you have no idea what he's going to do. No idea.
Well, and that's another thing. It's not just the athletes, it is the coaching. I mean, you've got Gibson and his offense that is born from what his dad, Vance Gibson, ran forever. And you've got Surratt, who's, without better words, he's a surgeon of coaching. I mean, whenever you think he's going to zig, he's going to zag. That makes it fun, too. It's not just the athletes. It's the chess match that's going to be going on. And you saw it for 5 or 6 years when it was Surratt versus Trailer with Gilmer.
A chess match with very big physical chess pieces.
Yeah, very big.
All right, let me say that. The rooks, they're pretty big.
6'4" bookends.
Well, let's do this. Let's go to Bobby. I think Bobby's got an interview, and we'll come back with Mike Roach from 247 Sports.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you having us.
Back quicker, Bobby.
Sorry about that, some technical difficulties. We're back at Pleasant Grove High School. We are here with Cameron Albert. He's in 7th grade. And Cameron, what has the school spirit week been like this week?
Well, the school spirit has been very hype. Everybody's ready for today as one of the most fan compacted game days of PG. And well, we're first to state. Carthage is second in state, so it's going to be a really great day for both of us.
Yeah, it should be a great battle for sure. Do you have any predictions on the game tonight?
I would say maybe the score would be 42-35, really close.
It's definitely going to be a good game, and we are back at you, Morgan.
We are back, man. We have a star-studded show today. We have Mike Roach's 247 Sports, recruiting editor. This has got to be an easy night for you. Come to one place and see all this talent.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's a bonanza, when you can see, and this is what East Texas does, man. Like, they don't, East Texas can't contend with the depth that, the Houston and Dallas regions have, but every other year or so, they'll have a game where it's we can see 10 guys in this game that are big time players, and guys out here just built different anyways. So I love these. This is one of those you see in January or in July when you're making your schedule, and you just circle it, and you're like, I know I'm going to that one.
Yeah. Well, where all have you been this year? You got to be all over the place, right?
Yeah, it's been a really busy year. I mean, I've mainly been operating in Dallas and down in the Hill Country a little bit. I've been out of state to Arizona. Was in Tyler last week to see John Tyler. So this is my second straight week out in the woods here.
What are you looking forward to tonight as far as separation of talent between the two teams?
Game environment is really the biggest thing I'm looking forward to. But, I mean, being able to see – you don't see a team like Pleasant Grove in their class to have two mammoth prospects on the defensive line. I mean, it's incredibly rare. it's incredibly rare to have that at the high 6A level. When you can get it at the 4A level, that's a very special thing. And, you know, we saw it last year. We came out to the playoffs looking for Landon Jackson and discovered Marcus Burris. And, you know, ever since then. And so the talent they've got all the way around, you know, I've got to spend a lot of time with Coach Gibson and the program over the spring and summer. I love this program and the way they do everything. I love their kids. And really, you know, the talent on that side of the ball, but the program that they play within and the way that they play for each other, that's what I really love about this program. And then Carthage, I mean, they speak for themselves. You know, they are the elite of the elite when it comes to high school football in the state. Just being able to see a matchup of this caliber is incredible.
And when you come to a Pleasant Grove practice, see the players and coaches, how does this culture compare to other places?
I've told Coach Gibson on several occasions I've never seen anything like it. I mean, there are a lot of good teams out there, and I see a lot of them. But when you can get, you know, you get down here on the field during a summer practice. I was out here probably the first or second day they were in pads in the summer. And when you get all guys pulling on the rope with the same effort and everybody's moving with the same enthusiasm and energy, it's very rare. I don't think you see it a lot. And I think that's the answer for when people ask, how did Pleasant Grove suddenly become this high school football power? That's the answer right there. Is not only do they have the talent, they have some tremendous talent, but they've got the program and the culture in place to put that talent within a system and having them all work towards a common goal.
Tell us a little bit about what you expect to see here tonight.
I think it's going to be a heck of a game, hopefully a classic. You know, I think that, you know, Carthage has earned the right to basically be a favorite in every game they're in, but I don't think that Pleasant Grove is really an underdog in any game they're in. So, you know, you've seen their performances the last 2 years running through the playoffs. I'm hoping this one comes down to the very end. I know there's probably some people over here on the home side that would love for it to be over by halftime, but I don't think that's the case. I think we're going to see a classic. I really love Carthage's depth up front on the offensive line. Tykeus Crawford, their offensive tackle, is maybe the best offensive lineman in the state when it comes to raw tools. But then, you know, he's got to contend with Pleasant Grove's massive line. Calvante Dixon, Carthage's weapon at receiver and running back. You know, obviously he's a weapon as well, but you know, they've got dudes. And then I think Bruce Garrett may be the most underrated guy in the state of Texas. So, you know, I just star-studded. It's a lot of kids who love football. And if I had to show somebody the example of what Texas high school football is all about, it wouldn't be a 6A game at Allen Stadium. It would be this game here.
I think the home team may have just come on the field, and it got a little loud here. But what do you see when you go to other schools? I mean, are the fans? I mean, what's this atmosphere like for you tonight?
Yeah, I mean, this is the Friday Night Lights type of atmosphere, right? I mean, like, that's what I'm saying is I could, you know, if I've got a lot of family from out of state. If they came in and I wanted to take them to Allen Stadium and have them see Allen, they would see a really cool stadium and a lot of fans, but you don't get the small town feel like you get out here. And I think that's kind of what encompasses Texas high school football. Playing public school football, playing in your community for your community is the most special thing about Texas high school football. And so I think that really this is the example of what it should be about.
Who are you looking at hardest tonight?
We love Landon Jackson. We love Marcus Burris. Those two guys are huge prospects, probably the top two defensive line prospects in the state of Texas for the class of 2021.
What do we got to do to get you to give Marcus this extra star?
Well, I don't do stars, but we've been pumping it. So we make recommendations. I've certainly done that. I think Marcus is fantastic. Really, it becomes a thing of we kind of discovered Marcus late last year, so it becomes more of we want to see more of him this year, and I think we're seeing that. And I think he's proving, you know, he's filling out. He's moving a little more athletically. He's getting a little meaner. That was a big thing we were looking for. So, yeah, I think that'll come for sure.
Man, I tell you who you are sleeping on is Nick Martin.
I love Nick Martin. I think that's another guy I'm looking at tonight. You know, I cover the University of Texas. Texas has had increasing contact with Nick Martin, and he's a guy that I met when I came out in the spring. Really thought he's phenomenal at running back or linebacker. Is a real versatile athlete, and really think he's going to be a big player to watch as well. And I mean, even the big name, the non-big name guys. I think, you know, to me, the quarterback here is maybe the best leader I've ever seen on a field at quarterback. I've said that multiple times. So, you know, I mean, I love that kid to death. Love watching him play.
Torrey's got to be moving up the charts for y'all, too.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of talent out here. And I think in the last couple of years, East Texas has had, maybe this last year, East Texas has had a down year, but I think it's coming back in 21 and 22 for sure.
Absolutely. How often have you ever been to a 4A game outside of a playoff game with this kind of atmosphere?
No, not with this type of atmosphere. I saw Carthage 2 years ago play at Henderson, which was a pretty nice environment, but it was nothing like number 1 and number 2 in the state going at it. This isn't an atmosphere that you can replicate on a lot of weeks. These are one of those special matchups.
Well, man, it's been so exciting. This morning, we were out here, started school a little late. I don't know if you saw it. We had the cheer band, players, interviewed coaches, whole 9 yards. I just don't get this anywhere else. Coach Gibson was telling us there's a guy from Alaska never been to a Texas high school football game, and this is going to be his first one.
Well, he's going to be ruined. It'll never live up again. I mean, I pulled into town today, checked into my hotel, and the guy at the front desk goes, "You here for the game?" I mean, that's it. That speaks for itself.
Man, we really appreciate you coming on. We want to see that extra star from Marcus, and don't tell him don't sleep on Nick anymore. And man, enjoy tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you have time, come holler at us post game.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys for having me on.
All right, let's go to commercial.
Thanks, guys. That was awesome.
Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful, handcrafted stone is our passion, and we ensure our customers receive the quality they deserve. We stand by our word. We stand by our products, services, and work that we do. Our team of experienced craftsmen and product experts have been perfecting their craft of fabricating and installing stone since 1998. Visit the Design Center at Red River Lumber to see the many beautiful stone options available for your next project.
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is the kind of person you need. Express Employment Professionals can help because we understand what it takes to hire good people. It takes real people, real interviews. We find good people, matching the right skills for the right jobs. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
Is your business the best that it can be? Let us take it to the next level with our wide range of professional services.
Media management, digital marketing,
promotional items,
geofencing,
artwork, and videography.
Let us help you be seen. We are
TXK Marketing.
We are TXK Marketing.
If you're looking for authentic Cajun-style meats prepared and ready to cook and take home, look no further than Lanyard Specialty Meats. We here at Lanyard Specialty Meats select nothing but premium meats, and we season it to perfection so that you'll have all of Acadiana flavor here in your own home. Come by Lanyard Specialty Meats for all your tailgating needs for this football season or hunting season. Remember, Lanyard Specialty Meats.
Lanyards is an official sponsor and proud supporter of Texarkana Game Day.
We are back. We have Coach Surratt, Carthage Bulldogs, one of the, if not the top coach in the state of Texas. Man, tell me, 4 state championships last 5 years, you got it rolling.
Well, we're having fun. That's the main thing is, we want to play at a championship level, and it's going to be a championship atmosphere tonight, and it's going to be fun. It's blackout for, I never thought I'd see a day. I've been being up from this area and coaching at Texas High and some atmosphere like this. So Coach Gibbs has done a great job, and congratulations to those guys.
Let me ask another question. When is the last time somebody's put you on for homecoming?
I don't know. Honestly,
it's been that long?
I really don't know. I can't answer that question.
I asked Coach Gibson today. I was like, man, why Carthage for homecoming? He was like, for this atmosphere right here. Same reason he wants to play us.
Well, honestly, we had you guys for homecoming last year, but that wasn't for that reason because it was really the only one we could have at that point. But I don't know. We like to play somebody not very good in homecoming, honestly.
Well, it'd be nice if our young men could play in this atmosphere each week. I think that'd be fun for them. But how did you prepare your team to be able to come into an atmosphere that's going to be a little bit larger and louder than most?
Well, it's daily grind. We work out in the indoor a lot, put a lot of music on and a lot of noise, and try to practice like a game situation as much as we can. But you can't do it. You can't emulate what Pleasant Grove's going to do us tonight, and wing T or the size and how physical they are on defense. So we'll have to adjust to that early.
You've been at Carthage now for a number of years, so you've been able to establish your football philosophy with the middle school kids. Does that make it easier as they make it into high school and make it to varsity?
Absolutely. We do exactly the same thing on a smaller scale at junior high, but we're going to run the ball down there a lot more, obviously, because the quarterback's usually a little bit behind down there, but we're going to get underneath and do a little shotgun, but we do the same thing.
How do you deal with it knowing that each week you're going to get that team's best because they want to knock you guys off as being one of the best teams in the state?
Well, it used to be a little bit harder to deal with, but now that is the case more than not. And so we know we got to get ready to play in the district we're in, especially the last 3 or 4 years. With the District of Doom, you better be ready to play every week or you're going to get your butt handed to you.
So tell me about who do we need to look out for tonight? Who we need to keep our eye on?
Well, defensively, we've got 2 big defensive ends that's got to play well, and then our Mike linebacker, Rayvon Ingram, but they all better play well because Pleasant Grove, they use the whole field, sideline to sideline, and a lot of wing tees don't do that. And obviously Ben Harmon's a great player, and he's so accurate with the football, and they're the best throwing team we've ever faced wing tee wise. And and offensively, you'll see number 10, Kelvontae Dixon, and then hopefully our quarterback has a great game, and our tailback, Mason Courtney, is very, very tough. I think you'll see that. And and our offensive line's got to play big or we don't have any chance.
Well, I looked over my shoulder a minute ago. Who is number 11? He's huge. Over here.
That's our tight end. I'm sorry,
Oh, wow.
Montrell Smith. Yeah, he'll match up, I'm sure, against Landon and the outside and Nick Martin. And we got a lot of good matchups tonight, and we got to win some of them, or a lot of them, or we'll be in trouble.
Everybody I talked to, this is the most evenly matched up game that they may have just ever seen.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of style they play for us if they want to go fast, because last year they went fast against everybody, then slowed it down against us, and then this year, I think they're the favorite, so I don't know if they're going to speed it up, slow it down, and we're going to do a lot of different paces. We may try to pick it up the pace a little bit and try to get some snaps in. We got 40, I believe, in last year. We need more than that, and but they did a great job with their scheme and their game plan last year, and hopefully, we can get them off the field a little better. That's the biggest key. If we get them in third down, we got to get them off the field.
Coach, having the program that you have, you put a lot of players into college football. How's it like seeing players like Ingram and them showing out on Saturday?
Oh, it's fun. It's fun. I love college football, and we've had, like you said, we've been very fortunate to coach good players. We've got great coaches, and it's fun to watch them play on Saturday. And we had a young man that went to Wyoming a few years ago, and he was a 3-year starter, and you can watch Wyoming about 10 games a year now with all the TV stations now, and so we get to watch them, and I'll tape them and watch them, and I try to keep in contact with much as I can, but we got a lot going right now, so it's
absolutely
tough. So you're saying you're still coaching them even though they're off at college?
Yeah,
offering up a little bit of advice?
Yeah, I told Ingram you better get that knee brace off in a hurry or somebody else is going to play, and he had it off, and but no, he's a great kid, great back obviously, and looking forard to watching him play this weekend.
He got Whittington about to get some carries with him in there.
Yeah, Whittington's a great player, and at that level, you always going to have great competition.
Absolutely.
And hopefully that's what we got at Carthage. We got depth, and we try to put a lot of pressure on our kids daily. To keep playing their best.
Coach, there's a number of jobs I've heard you turn down. Why Texas high school football?
I think it's the best, and I don't think it gets any better than what I have at Carthage, and I don't care. And the thing about it, I got kids, and my son's a 6th grader, and I hope to get to coach him. And if I was to go to a different level or somewhere else, I don't know how that would work out. I know how it's going to work out now, And but when he graduates, if somebody will hire him, a 58-year-old fool, then I may be back in the looking. But I doubt it. I see myself retiring at Carthage. It's just a great place. It's been a great fit for my family.
One of the things we talk about this quite a bit when we talk about other teams and area games. We're like, sometimes you just don't have the athletes. And I've made this joke numerous times. I'm like, well, when's Carthage going to run out of athletes?
Well, hopefully never. But
tell me about you're bringing these kids up early.
We do, and my wife teaches PE, 4th, 5th, and 6th boys. They're doing a little 7-on-7 right now. So she may be the best coach on the staff. But now she tell me we still got some talent coming. She always knows too. She don't miss much, and so it's just a fun place to coach.
Well, we're excited to be able to have you here and come and talk to us. What do you do differently as far as getting your boys ready for a game like this? I mean, this has got to be a little bit bigger game than what you played so far. I mean, to us, it's going to be more of a playoff type situation. Do you see it the same with your team?
Yeah, honestly, last year we downplayed this game because we have the district game right behind it with Van, and Van had a really good team, and Van's 4-1 now, and on an open week, and I asked them the same question I did: which one's more important, Van or Pleasant Grove? And last year they said Van. That's exactly right, but we want to win. And then I asked them this week, and the same thing, and they said Van, and I said, well, you're wrong. This is a big game. We want to see where we're at as a football team with this group, and wrong. If I said that wrong, I don't know, but we want a big game. We need a big game. We didn't think we dealt with Gilmer very good. We didn't. I'm not saying we disrespected Gilmer, but we scored 50 the year before in the first half. It's not the same thing. We knew what a war we was in Pleasant Grove, and we want to see where we're at as a football team this year, and then we'll get them ready next week, win, lose, or draw tonight.
Well, Coach Surratt, we'll let you get back to your team. We really appreciate your time. Let's do this. Let's take it to Bobby for the stats for you. We'll come back with Coach Josh Gibson.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
And we are back at Texas County Game Day, and I have Ansley and Dylan with us here. And how excited are y'all today for today's game?
So excited.
So excited.
Really excited.
Really excited. Now, I hear your dad is one of the coaches on the football team. Is that true?
Uh-huh.
And he is the defensive coordinator for the Pleasant Grove Hawks tonight, or for every night, as a matter of fact. And Miss Ansley, what's your favorite part of the game tonight?
Everything. Yes.
Okay. She says everything. So we're all excited here at Pleasant Grove High School, and we'll send it back to you, Morgan.
We are back. We got head coach Josh Gibson with us. We're just talking about the atmosphere and the buzz right now. 7 years ago when you came here?
It's 5. This is my 6th year, so 5 years ago.
Did you expect this when you came? Well, I mean, just look around.
Well, this is what we dreamed of, and that's why it's such a blessing right now is we're getting to live that dream. These kids they dreamed it too when they were in 7th grade, and people in our community dream we have this type of program, and so it's awesome. It's unbelievable.
Well, I was amazed just how quick the stands filled up tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It's just impressive. We've got people all over the berm on blankets. I really wasn't sure how many people would show up with blankets, but I'm impressed. We were going to have a full house tonight and then some.
Yeah, and that's awesome. That it's filling up. It's filling up. But my first Booster Club meeting, somebody asked me. They said, "When are we going to be able to sit in the grass?" And I said, "When we sell out all these games, we can. We're going to have to." And to see that happen, and I think we're going to be here at double capacity tonight. And man, that's awesome.
Man, what give us your playbook tonight. What are we going to see from this offense?
I really think you're going to see a lot of what we've done in big games in the past. We're going to run the football, and we're going to run it right at them, and we're going to have to get some big plays in the passing game to be successful. You can't be one-dimensional against these guys because they play so well up front. They haven't given up many rushing yards this year. But we're not abandoning the rush because of that. I mean, that's what we do, and we do things good too. But we're going to have to make plays in the passing game to really be able to open up and score points like we usually do. And if we're not able to do that, we're going to be tipping our hat to those guys, and they're going to be that good. But that's our plan of attack.
Awesome.
Since the pep rally, what are some of the things you've been talking to your guys about as you get closer to kickoff?
Just the focus part of it, stay focused, and I know they will. They've been in a lot of big games. I mean, we played in 2 state titles, played in a lot of playoff games. I mean, as many as anybody in the state the past 2 years. And then to be able to play the Paris, the Atlantas, the Hendersons, all those state-ranked teams, it helps us for these moments. We didn't play a soft schedule, so we've had to get up before, and I think this one is the biggest one we played this year, and against the best team that we're going to play in a great crowd, fan base over there. But that once that clock starts ticking, I mean, they're going to go full tilt. That's been programmed into them, and that's how they practice every day, and that's who they are. So I think we'll be good. I think all this is awesome to look at and run out of the tunnel and see it and take a minute to embrace it and be thankful for it, and then we're high school kids going to play football.
Coach, one thing I can say, you've turned this program around so fast. What's fun to me to watch, tonight with this many people here, it's not just PG people out here. I mean, you got Texarkana as a whole is supporting this team. How does that make you feel?
You know, that I got to see that in 2017, how special East Texas fans are. And I think the biggest thing is because they're all about kids. I talked to Craig about it earlier today. When my second year, when we weren't as good and we got eliminated in the first round, we brought LE over here and they practiced in our indoor facility because they didn't have one. And I was at their game in round 4 when they played at AT&T and they were going against Argyle, and I'm rooting for them. And I think that's reciprocated, and I think people pull for folks in East Texas, and when their team's eliminated, they become a fan of you. The deal is tonight, though, we got 2 East Texas teams, so there's people here pulling for, you know, both of these programs and just want to see a really good game. But that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Hey, Coach, tell me a little bit. We talked about it this morning. This group of seniors, they were 6th, 7th grade when you came. You watched these kids grow up into young men. How emotional is a night like this? Homecoming. I mean, they finally filled the stadium, and then some, probably double, maybe triple capacity.
Yeah. You know, I probably broke down just thinking about these guys in this moment and how fast it's going, how fast it's going to be over. But my gratitude to them and the way that they act, the way that they grow, it just drops my jaw. I could not be more proud of a group of young men, and I could not be more thankful for a group. They're special, special guys, and our senior class is the crew that was coming into 7th grade when I took over, and they're so relational, they're so loving, they're so driven. And then that's permeated down through. They're great leaders. That's permeated down through our junior class, our sophomore class. They have great kids and role models to look up to in their teammates. And I couldn't be more thankful. They are special. They deserve any recognition they get. I don't know if we can give them enough credit.
Man, this lineup we have tonight with all these recruiting guys. I mean, there's places on here from Dallas. You have Coach Morris from the University of Arkansas flying in. What are your emotions right now? I mean, there's got to be. You're a football coach. This is what you do, but this is bigger than big time.
Yeah, and well, that's the thing that makes football special is there are so many people that are here in the community, not just to watch a football game, but to watch our band students, our showstoppers, our cheerleaders, and it just brings so many people together. That's why I always love football. I enjoyed playing basketball just as much as I enjoyed playing football. But I love Friday nights because of how many people it puts in the stands, how many people it brings together. And you bring a community together and give them a great experience like this. There's relational growth from it. We notice that in the playoffs every year. In the playoffs, families coming in that don't come in as much, and you're drawing them. And Thanksgiving's being huge, and kids' dads who hadn't watched them play before and their dads are showing up. There's some great stories in this deal.
One thing about it is when Morgan asked me to come on and be a part of this show, he thought he sold me on coming here because of game day, but those breakfast burritos this morning and to be at this game right here, that's the only reason I'm here for Texarkana game day.
Well, we could probably heat up some of them leftover breakfast burritos for you, get you fired up at halftime, baby.
That was a great experience, not only for the kids, but for us. I really, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all doing that this morning. That's huge. Great way to kick off the day. It's going to be one of the most memorable days in Pleasant Grove football history, in this stadium history, and it started right out there with game day.
And we had a camera up there when everybody came in, and her words to me were like, "This is insane." Like people just rushing in this door, man. Hats off, congratulations, greatest fans in the state is what y'all call them.
Yep.
And man, it's unbelievable.
Coach, I'm just glad you're here, and I'm glad you're here to take this against Carthage tonight. And what are going to be some of the last words that you're going to tell your guys before you come back on this field?
Same thing. It's everything. Absolutely love them to death. We're going to go out there. We're going to put our heart and soul into each other, and we're going to go full tilt. We're going to go knock some heads around.
Awesome, Coach. We'll let you get back to it. Appreciate your time. Best of luck to you tonight. We'll find you post-game. Let's go take it up to Bobby.
All right, baby.
And we are back with Texarkana Game Day live at Pleasant Grove High School. Well, I have Holly here, who's part of the Pleasant Grove Showstoppers. Holly, how long have you been a showstopper for Pleasant Grove?
Third year being a
Third year, but that's very, very extensive, or very long career, I would say. What's the school spirit and build-up been like for this week here at Pleasant Grove?
Well, this every organization has been very excited to like help with everything, like the homecoming parade, and then the pep rally this morning, this afternoon, because this afternoon there's been a lot of people like pep rally. Since our game, it's expected lots of people. Everyone just wanted everything to run smoothly, and so far everything's been going good.
I can definitely understand that. They've been coming in by the dozens as soon as we got here. This is definitely going to be an epic game. Do you have any predictions on the score tonight?
I'm hoping for a Hawk win. I don't know.
Well, it should definitely be an interesting one. And Morgan, let's take it back to you.
We are back. We have Justin Wells, Texas Insider, with us, managing editor. What brings you to Texarkana today, of all places?
Well, for starters, it's number 1 versus number 2 in the state of Texas. If that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will.
Well, who are you here looking at the most tonight?
That's the fun part. There's at least 7 or 8 Division I talents on both sides of the field. Really sticking out at Carthage is Kelvonte Dixon and Tykees Crawford, both Arkansas pledges, both dynamic players. Crawford has come so far in the last couple of years with his development. Give Coach Surratt a ton of credit. And then Pleasant Grove, I mean, they're just loaded. You start with Ben Harmon, their quarterback, the leader. Running back Bruce Garrett's committed to BYU. Landon Jackson's one of the top defensive ends in the nation. Marcus Burris is also one of the top defensive linemen in the nation. Nick Martin is a diamond in the rough that's going to have some big offers. I could go on and on, Coach.
Yeah. What do you think about the Torrey Phillips? Okay.
Hope, Arkansas. He's one of those guys. I'm actually kind of I'm curious about him. I want to meet him. I want to kind of get to know him. Ask Coach Gibson a little bit about him. It's one of those things where he could have another monster on the way. But I know he's got the big thing here is it's all about the program, and so he's going to have to wait his turn.
Yeah, you just have to. You must have the greatest job in the world. Doing what you do.
It's a fairy tale. If I'm not here on a Friday night, I'm fortunate enough to cover the University of Texas on Saturdays. And so, I mean, it's a fairy tale, guys. I'm more blessed than any person you have ever met.
Can you share with us what you think about the atmosphere here tonight?
Oh, this is spectacular. You have to understand, Mike Roach was on a little bit earlier, and he's a good friend of mine. We started coming over here probably a year or so ago, and we recognized how special this place was. And that word gets used a little too much, but it really summarizes what Coach Gibson from top to bottom has built in this area. And you can see it right here. There was a line out to the parking lot at 4 o'clock, 3 hours before kickoff. Carthage is going to bring the entire city on the other side there. This is what high school football is all about, and I'm just ready to get it going.
Sir, earlier somebody brought up the fact that both these teams can win the state championship with Division I, Division II, and they have the unique opportunity to play each other head-to-head for bragging rights to who the best team in the state of Texas is. What do you feel about that?
I think it's, if you look at 4A, and, we watch a lot of high school football in Texas. If you look at 4A, Carthage and Pleasant Grove, Carthage is really the standard. I believe they've had six rings in the last 9 or 10 years. They have really supplanted themselves as the beast of East Texas. Pleasant Grove's on that come up. They've been to the state championship the last 2 years. This year, that might be their most talented team that Coach Gibson's had. And so, with the fact that they couldn't, they do Division I, Division II, that's an argument for another day. But the fact that we get to see number 1 and number 2, we may get a title-like atmosphere in early October.
I need you to send a bad email to whoever moved Carthage to number 2. I'm not happy about it. I really wanted 1 against 1. Who did that to us? Come on.
I'm lucky enough I don't get to make those judgments.
Well.
What are you expecting? Can we get a prediction out of you right here in front of these Pleasant Grove Hawk fans?
Absolutely. I've gone back and forth all week long. I've done a lot of research. Both these teams come in real good shape, real good health for the most part. I think it's going to be a 4-quarter game. I think that it's going to come down to the last couple minutes of the game just because you just got two sides that are just going to beat on each other until one taps out. But honestly, I think Pleasant Grove has the advantage from being at home. I think Pleasant Grove has the advantage with the interior offense and defensive lines. I think they're bigger, and that way they can control the line of scrimmage. If Ben Harmon is who I know he is, and Bruce Garrett does what he does, I've got Pleasant Grove 40, Carthage 33.
Okay, guys, you can put your eggs back up. We don't need those eggs right now.
That's a lot of points. We have 2 great defenses.
I agree, but at the same time, I think you might see some scores from defense. Special teams might make a play. That's what 1 and 2 bring you.
Yeah.
Anything could happen, and there's so many dogs on each side of the field.
Yeah, one thing we found out week 1 against Paris, and we talked about this after that week, this number 1 ranking matters.
Oh, yeah.
Out here at PG. There were some points in that game where it was – you didn't have to do some of the things we did.
Paris was tough.
You know, the team did it that, and it matters. They'll go all out full tilt tonight.
Pleasant Grove has to understand they're now becoming the hunted. I mean, they were a hunter for so long. Now they're the hunted. They've got the target on their back, and that's just a symbol of how far this program has come. And one of the reasons I make this trek from Tyler, Texas, over here, just because I love being around great coaches, great players. If you ever come to a Pleasant Grove practice, it's one of the most well-organized, calculating, precise. Every movement counts. Every rep counts. It's just a special place, and so you're going to get everybody's best every week. It's just a matter of all the success they've had.
My first time here was before 2-a-days. My staff and I came in, watched a weight room workout for a film we were doing, and I left there thinking that right there, that they put on a show for us. You know, I said, there's no way it's like that every day. Started coming a little bit more and a little bit more. I'm like, my Lord, this is insane, you know? I literally thought they were just putting on a show because we were there. But no, man, it is all out.
I wonder where Coach Gibson gets all this energy, and I just think it's a very an incredible spirit that he has. And it's like I said, it starts at the top with administration, coaches. The coaching staffs are tremendous, and the kids have bought in. When it's a player-led program like what they're building now, and you've got a guy like Coach Gibson with all the energy in the world, good things come.
Oh, yeah.
You know, one thing, too, we can tell with Coach Gibson is he really cares about the kids. Absolutely. And when the kids buy in and they know their coach cares about them, you will get the best out of them.
Well, in this day and age, with recruiting being so publicized with social media and things, you know, some coaches haven't bought in completely to that. They don't want it. They feel like it's a distraction to the team or to the players, where it's actually doing your kids a disservice. You almost owe it to those kids. They've worked for you to get out there and push. Coach Gibson does that. He goes out of his way, above and beyond, to make sure his kids are noticed, to make sure college coaches know what's going on, transcripts are updated. When you have that, there's nothing more a high school football player could ask for.
I agree.
As far as tonight's matchup, I think where Pleasant Grove's got to win is going to be our front 7 on the defense, and this is going to be the biggest offensive line that we've played this year. Where do you see Pleasant Grove being able to stop their O-line and even their depth in their O-line?
Well, I think it starts in the middle with Marcus. Marcus is going to have a big game because there's going to be some gap control there, and Marcus is going to have to flex. I think the best matchup is going to be when Landon Jackson's on the outside of Tykees Crawford. I'm one that I feel like Crawford might be one of the best offensive linemen in the state. I know Landon's one of the best prospects in the country. I'm really looking forward to that matchup because that's meat on meat. That's D1 on D1. And so that's why I kind of side with Pleasant Grove tonight, because I think they're going to win in the trenches. I think they've got the offensive line, and they certainly have the defensive line. I just can't wait for it to get started.
I know that this is going to be the exciting part for me, but I think tonight Landon may get more one-on-one because of the other D1 across from him. And it's going to be interesting to see them going up against each other. I mean, I think that's going to be a phenomenal matchup all night long.
I don't know if you watched last year. That was the matchup last year, and Crawford got the best of them. And don't think for a second that hasn't crept into Landon Jackson's head for the last 12 months.
It may have been circled.
Yeah. So there's some debts to be collected tonight, and I know Landon is as focused as anybody.
I think Ben
right there. Debts to be collected. I love it.
Ben feels the same way. I think he's had this game circled since last year as well. He sort of took it a little personal towards the end of the game. You know, we had it going and lost it. I'm excited to see what Ben's going to bring tonight.
Landon's added a lot of strength and size in the offseason. He's going to be ready to play tonight.
With that size and athleticism and his desire, his mentality, great parents, great support system, I consider it a privilege to know Landon pretty well over the last 2 years, and it's just a blessing to get to know him and get to cover him in high school, and maybe one day I might cover him in college as well.
Yeah, when your dad's 6'11" and your mom's 6 foot, you know.
I saw his little brother yesterday. I was like, my God.
I asked
Why are you so tall?
I was like, so you play basketball, right?
Morgan, you're only 5'6".
I'm all of 6'1".
Well, from a very selfish standpoint, I hope you get to see him and cover him on Saturdays as well. Hook him.
No joke. Let's do this. Hey, we appreciate your time, man. Great interview. Let's go to commercial break, and we will come back with Superintendent Chad Pirtle. Back from Pleasant Grove Stadium, Superintendent Chad Pirtle with us. When you took this job last year, did anybody tell you it was this crazy?
Well, no, not at all, not at all. And crazy, I don't know if crazy is the word, but remarkable is what comes out to me. I mean, if we get a shot at the fans, it's pretty amazing right now, and it's been like this and just filling in, especially the berm down there that we opened up for this game, since about an hour and a half before the game.
Yeah. You got people down there with blankets laid out. I see a guy looks like he has a float.
That's
from
the
a
best
swimming
seats
pool.
in the house, though.
It's beautiful, and there's a great view from down there. But to be able to manage the amount of people that we're going to have tonight, we just had to. And it may. I'm not forecasting the future, but it may be something we just do from now on.
I hope so. That'd be great. It's been a big week this week for Pleasant Grove. Homecoming. I was fortunate enough to kind of see some of the parade. A lot of work went into that.
We've had a big homecoming week, which Monday we were off, but we had the parade on Tuesday, which you guys got some coverage on, and we appreciate that. But the floats in the Pleasant Grove homecoming parade are state championship quality floats. It's pretty amazing.
I was impressed.
At the and that's my first parade to see, but it was really nice.
There was going to be an elephant in it, and this is a joke. And then when they started coming, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, funny.
I started looking because it looks so legit.
Funny story on that. On Tuesday was the day of the parade, and we get a call from the city manager saying, I'm hearing we're having horses and monkeys in the parade. And our director of school services, Bill Harp, he made a phone call and said, hey, do you know anything about this? Well, they were going to dress a horse up like an elephant, and there really was going to be a monkey in the parade. And so I'm telling you, these floats are full tilt. They are full tilt. And so we had to, because it's against the city ordinance, we had to draw that back a little bit.
Oh, man. Well, the city have to run everything.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. They're gracious to us and great partner for our school district. But we were kind of scratching our head, like, really, there's a monkey in our parade?
Yeah.
But that's the truth. There was really going to be a monkey in our parade.
Man, we had you, Shelby, Brooke Marshall, Todd Marshall. A lot of work went into this morning. From my knowledge, first time something like that's been done. We had a great time being there. How was the experience for you?
It was great. I mean, it just made me proud because you have our students that came out a little bit early for the experience, but just like they do every time, they come out and perform, and they come out and it's really, really, really good. And it just makes me proud to be the superintendent of the quality that Pleasant Grove produces in whatever they put in front of you. It's quality. So we served over 500 breakfast tacos celebrating National Taco Day. Don't know if you knew that, but National Taco Day, and then we're really happy to be able to celebrate our class reunions.
Oh yeah,
we have a couple of class reunions tonight, and I was talking to somebody today, and I said, you know what, I hope that our classes that are coming back, I hope they come back and experience this and where Pleasant Grove is right now, and experience this and walk away from this thing going, wow, I'm so proud of my high school, I'm so proud of my school district. And so that's what I hope from our class reunions, our Hawks that are coming back. I hope they walk away from this seeing the berm, seeing the fans, the stands full, 45 minutes, an hour before the game. Great football game's going to happen. I hope that they walk away prideful about their Pleasant Grove Hawks.
Well, I've got a special eye for this just because I grew up as an administrator's son. But this week, and this happens all the time here, but this week in particular, I've seen our maintenance and custodial staff walking around here, smiles on their face. They're the first ones here, last ones to leave, and I mean, they're helping people without even being asked. I know today we were needing to get a Coke delivery set up in here. There was no one here to really unload it, and all of a sudden here comes the maintenance crew without even being asked. Tell us a little bit about your support staff there.
Steve Chateau does a great job of leading that crew, and they are here. They will drop what they're doing to help you out, and it doesn't matter if it's me or a teacher or a cafeteria worker or you. They will drop what they do. Actually, the first game, they were helping you guys wheel this thing out of here. And it's just the quality of people that are a part of our maintenance and custodial department. We actually, on Monday, it was the National Custodian Day, and we had a big lunch for our custodial staff. I talk about taking care of our people, winning the state championship and taking care of our people. And that's an example of what we're doing. We're celebrating those people, because if we didn't have those people, we couldn't educate the students doing their work. We couldn't educate the students like we need to.
Let's do this real quick. Let's, well, it looks like they're not quite ready just yet. Tell us a little about tennis had a big week, right?
Tennis had a big week. A couple big wins this week. Ended up today, I believe they knocked off Liberty Allo today, Pittsburgh yesterday, and won the first district championship of the year in Pleasant Grove. We anticipate a lot more district championships coming from the Hawks, but I believe that was the first district championship for this school year.
Yeah, they had a couple players make a state run last year too, I believe.
We did. We had a mixed doubles pair go down and compete at state, and our tennis program is growing big time. We started tennis at the middle school last year or 2 years ago, and that program is just booming down there, and we look forward to seeing the quality and the instruction that they're receiving at that level filtering up and making all of our tennis players state making them state quality, where they can go to Austin and compete for state championships.
We'll come right back. We'll talk about volleyball real quick. Let's switch it over to Bobby. I see a familiar face down there in Chad Miot.
And we are back live at Pleasant Grove High School with Chad Myatt, who's got an interesting story about acquiring tickets to the game tonight.
Yeah, man, I showed up yesterday morning for the pre-sale. I was there at like 10 after 7. I was already the 8th one in line. In fact, there were 3 women in front of me. They were from Carthage. They got here at 7 a.m. yesterday morning, man. Yeah, this place is bumping right now.
Yeah, I noticed you had gotten here at 4:30, and you've been here since pretty much the gates have opened. What do you think of the atmosphere here tonight?
It is crazy. I've never seen it this packed before, man. This is gonna be a battle. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a showdown. If you're not here tonight, then you're definitely missing out. What are your predictions on the game tonight?
Man, like I said, I think it's gonna be a battle. They're gonna start hammering it out. I'm gonna say 28-21. My Hawks are gonna take it. It's gonna be a battle the whole time, but at the end they're gonna pull it out, man. I really do.
Pure confidence out of Chad Myatt. And Morgan, we're back to you.
All right, we are back. Tell us, volleyball, are they playing right now?
They played Carthage today. I think came up a little short against Carthage today in 4 sets. So, but they defeated Pittsburgh on Tuesday, and very proud of that. And they're having a good season. Look forward to how it ends up, and then what happens in that playoff run that they'll make.
Yeah, I was talking with Coach today, and as we spoke with her this morning, she lost 7 seniors last year. Speaks very highly of her senior class this year. She feels very confident they're going to go deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think they're a young team too, and those seniors are very valuable to the team this year. But I think there's a pretty nice excitement about what the future holds for our volleyball team too.
I know she's going to bring big things. Did she tell me she's been here 20 years?
Coach Colvins is an amazing person, an amazing coach, and you just, when you're around her, you see it, you feel it, and she does a really good job on the girls' side of our athletic.
Did she play here as well? For like 2 or 3 years.
I don't think. I'm not sure the answer to that.
I thought she told me. I thought she said she did play here.
Yeah, she graduated here.
She graduated here. So.
Yeah. So the elementary school. Shout out to the construction crew for breakfast this morning.
Yeah, Abholz came in and made a lot of food this morning, and it was a whole lot of it was devoured by our students and everybody that came to our morning pep rally this morning. But the Margaret Fisher Davis Elementary School is on schedule, and we've poured concrete. We're starting to go vertical. Our second phase of concrete, second pour, was poured about 3 o'clock this morning, and they anticipate Monday or Tuesday starting to go vertical on that part.
I'm not sure whose idea it was to put the PG flag and the American flag on top of it, but I like it.
You like that, don't you? I do too. I do too.
So looks like we have homecoming going on behind us. Let's take a camera to homecoming, and we'll just kind of talk about it.
Calling on her first to pick her up when her car runs out of gas. Georgia plans to attend either Baylor or Ole Miss and pursue a career in entrepreneurship and corporate innovation.
That's Jackson.
Ladies and gentlemen, Georgia Blair Cobb.
Beautiful. She has a beautiful dress on.
Our third nominee is Jessica Dawn Coleman, daughter of George and Valerie Coleman. Jessica is escorted tonight by her dad, George Anthony Coleman. Jessica is a 4-year member of Curtain Call Productions, a PG Theater Arts Community Ambassador, a prose and poetry competitor, a member of Student Council, PG Tribe, International Thespian Society, and a volunteer at the Community Cafe.
What a night for this homecoming. You think they'll ever forget this?
Not at all. It's also got to be a very special night for the parents of these girls that are on the homecoming court.
I mean, what, you couldn't ask for a better homecoming show. Whole 9 yards here, Jay. Yeah, you've been around this team and community for your entire life.
Yeah.
Right? You ever seen anything like this?
It is phenomenal. I mean, I was here when this field was just the practice field, nothing but dirt and grass. And to see as many people here tonight, see as many people on the blankets on the berm, and I mean, it's starting to get 2 and 3 deep on the fence, and I would imagine it's going to end up being 6 or 7 deep on the fence row, and I mean, it is almost full everywhere, and probably the seats that aren't being filled up right now, they're probably getting popcorn and peanuts and Cokes.
I had a friend of mine call me around 6 o'clock or so,
and he was asking me what it looked like. I was like, only thing pretty much open is the reserve seating. You know, I mean, you can get up high or down on the berm, but it filled up really quick.
Guys, being where I'm from, I've been to a lot of big games, and I have yet to see what I'm seeing so far tonight. This is a great atmosphere.
Great night of weather.
Oh man, thank goodness it's not hot. We didn't have to unload or load our stuff today. Shout out to these PG kids.
I think it was meant to happen because this morning I come out of the house and it's raining and I'm like, no, not today. And we get there and it's raining and then it blows through, and since that, the rest of the day, it's been a relatively nice day. It was humid for a little bit, but right now, it's perfect.
Well, so far everything has worked out, and I hope it continues on until the end of the ball game, and PG gets that W.
I want to take a quick second, recognize a couple of our presenting sponsors. State Bank has came on about 3 weeks ago. Been a great partnership for us, as well as Texarkana Emergency Center. A lot of great things in the community. Shout out to them. Any of your banking needs or medical care needs, Texarkana Emergency Center is there for you. Let's get back here
and pursue a career in entrepreneurship.
How long have you been around this community? Has it literally been your entire life?
Yeah, my dad actually started as the junior high principal back in 1977, and I've been running the halls ever since. Matter of fact, most of they probably replaced them now, but a lot of the desks that the teachers have at the high school I've actually put together back in 1986.
Wow.
But I definitely bleed a little black and gold, and it's just incredible what the program and what the district academically. It's just exciting to see all that. We had the choice when we moved back to Texarkana, and we put our kids in the Pleasant Grove district, and we've been extremely pleased with that. With that move.
So how does this? It's been a long time since I've been to a homecoming. How does this work? All these girls seniors? Or?
They are, and everybody is going to learn who our homecoming queen is in probably about 7 or 8 minutes. So there's going to be some excitement, and my daughter is actually in this grade, and every single one of them on the homecoming court tonight would be deserving. It's just an amazing group of girls, and I'm excited to get this pageantry named, and let her take her seat as the queen, and I'm ready for some football.
Oh man, I'm ready for this one for a while.
Absolutely.
Looks like we've got about
for this all season.
I growing up, my dad used to take me to football games all the time, and I specifically remember going to a Longview John Tyler when John Tyler was the biggest name in high school football in the state of Texas, followed by Longview Lufkin. When Lufkin was coming into their powerhouse with, I can't think of Johnny Outlaw was the head coach there. You probably remember that time.
Yes, sir.
And so I've been around a lot of great environments from a very young age, and what I'm looking at here and able to describe is at 5:30 they opened the gates. Everything other than reserved seats were filled by 5:40. The end zone, they're packing with people right now. I just, what a great time for these kids. These players, cheerleaders, showstoppers, band. What a great time to have both schools on showcase tonight.
Well, what I've been so impressed with is how many young people that I've seen. Girls are running around with the little cheerleading outfits. The boys are running around with the football jerseys on. And so, we are starting a legacy, and it's going to be fun to watch Pleasant Grove moving into the future.
I think one of the most special things about tonight is that the flag guys are running really hard already. They're setting the tempo early for this team.
I enjoy the student section over there when the game gets cranked up.
They're going to get rowdy.
Number 22, I've been telling 22 all night, the hype man. We're going to need him tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen,
he's a great hype.
Some of these girls pulled out all the stops with these dresses.
Boy, I'm telling you what. Some of these dads' pocketbooks are going to be a little bit lighter.
Kaylee's escorted tonight by her dad.
How was your pocketbook after homecoming with your girls?
Well, we actually, after our second dress, the first one didn't quite fit. It really isn't too bad, but you got to do it.
Kaylee also received nutrition and wellness.
Believe it or not, she did not let me help her pick it out.
In her free time, Kaylee enjoys eating her mom's home-cooked meals and hanging out with her friends.
22 minutes to kick off here at Pleasant Grove Hawk Stadium. Texarkana Game Day pregame show. Appreciate everybody watching. We'll bring it up to you all the way to kickoff. After kickoff, you can catch it on your local radio station. We will be back at halftime for a halftime show, tell you everything we saw during that first half. And that will be followed by a postgame show. We will interview the players, coaches, parents, everybody. It'll be a great time.
And an All-American cheerleader. She's a member of KIEX.
I mean, more people are still rolling in. This is
crazy. I can't believe anybody
house.
would show up late for this.
Packed house.
You know?
There's no showing up late. They're probably parked at Central Mall. That's probably the only place you could possibly
Tony, you could have
park
loaded up
now.
about 50 people in your truck and brought them over here.
I don't know. My truck's big enough.
It's big enough to take up 3 parking spaces. I know that. So, Jay, what's about to happen here?
Well, I believe we've got one more left to name. Actually, this may be it. So the announcement is coming up shortly.
I can guarantee you all the girls' legs are shaking right now.
High school football players Jackson Cobb and Janie Lewis, along with Principal Todd Marshall, who is accompanying our 2018 homecoming queen, Miss Reagan Adams, as she crowns 2019 homecoming queen, and Mr. Marshall presents her with a presentation bouquet.
How about my boy Jackson Cobb still making it around?
I like Jackson a lot, man. He's a good kid.
Yeah, I asked him about his recovery. He said he's doing really good.
You know, Jamie will be back later on in the season. It's glad to see that wasn't a serious injury.
Our 2019
Who's coming in to take
queen is
in behind Jamie?
Miss Georgia Blair Cobb.
That is Jackson's
Congratulations.
sister.
Is it really?
So Jackson is going to be giving his sister the award. Georgia is a great girl.
So that's Jackson Cobb's sister?
That is his sister.
So that explains why he's standing there crying right
Yes,
now.
that is right. That is right.
No, he may not be, but I'm going to say he is.
Congratulations, Georgia Cobb.
A little brother and sister hug. You can't beat that right there.
Jay, I've got 2 boys that's her same age and say she's about the sweetest girl you ever met.
Oh, she absolutely is. I was lucky enough to be able to coach her in soccer, and I mean, she goes full tilt in every sport that she plays.
I don't know her. I know Jackson well, and her brother's the same way to me, man.
Well, she's one of our leaders on the volleyball team, and she actually she was not able to play a lot last year because of a back injury. And so she's coming on strong. I'm looking forward to her having a great playoff run.
Mr. Pirtle, we had your first homecoming. Jay was telling us Georgia Cobb's a great character, great everything, perfect for homecoming queen.
She is, and all of the contestants out there, they are great quality, great character, great kids. And Georgia, you know, just so happened to be talking to her dad before, and he was talking about how Georgia had just finished up playing volleyball. Yeah. She had all of her makeup on for the game, and then trying to get dressed to get here in time for the homecoming festivities, and pretty neat that Jackson was able to give her a hug down there too.
Oh, yeah,
that was awesome.
great.
That's really nice. But a lot of great kids down there representing.
As you can tell from the standing ovation from everybody in the stands.
Oh, yeah. Man, people are still coming in here.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. There's
I'm just excited for the kids. I mean, the kids to be able to experience this atmosphere. I've never seen it. I've never been at a high school football game with this type of electricity going through the air.
You know, the kids getting to experience this. Our students were down there. They were here early, ready to go. But our coaches, they work really, really hard. And Coach Gibson's been here for 5 years and a third of a season, and this is what he's worked for. You know, and he's had a lot of success, but to be able to pack Hawk Stadium out like this right here in the community, you know, it's also about the community and the people who have supported Pleasant Grove for a long time.
I heard they sold 1,000 tickets in an hour this morning.
Yesterday morning we sold 1,000 and ended up by noon selling about a little over 1,500.
Wow.
And That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Hey guys. Hey y'all run hard out there, right? Y'all run hard out there.
Did you hear that little kid?
Hey, here we go. What do you think about the game, Jack?
Awesome, Mom. Let me go.
Did you hear that little kid? That little kid was like, hey, Turtle.
This is awesome. I love they bring the kids out for all this. So we are about 17 minutes to kick off. Let's do this. Let's take one last commercial break, and we will bring you live all the way up to kickoff.
Find yourself in need of emergency care, come see us at Texarkana Emergency Center. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We are locally owned with board-certified physicians for all your emergencies. We accept all private insurance. At Texarkana Emergency Center, we have on-site lab, pharmacy, x-ray, ultrasound, and CT. Come see us at Texarkana Emergency Center. Real ER without the wait. The next generation of emergency care.
Let's go.
You want to take my seat?
So when she comes, or we'll
I'll stand up and share my mic with her.
We'll put her in the middle.
How far are we
I
away
just got
from
on
live?
We're live. So 14 and a half minutes to kick off. I just got notice PG is on their way to the football field. Man, this is exciting. Playing the Carthage song right now, a school song right now. It's almost here, Tony. This is bigger than any Gilmer game you've ever been to.
Oh yeah, this game's going to be huge, guys.
Definitely bigger than any Spring Hill game.
Ha 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 ha.
Look at the berm down there.
Oh man, this is awesome.
I don't think you can hold very many more people in here.
So we, Coach Gibson, when we were selling tickets, a gentleman showed up. I don't know if you've heard the story.
Yeah, from Alaska, tell it. Yeah,
the guy from Alaska, and he moved down, and I think he lives in Redwater, and he moved down, and he's never been to a high school football game, but he has read Friday Night Lights. He got hooked on the movie and the video, the series of Friday Night Lights, and he showed up to buy tickets and said, you know what, this is my first Texas high school football game to come to, and so he's starting it big.
Texas is in football in Texas is a little different than most states.
He may be disappointed at the next game he goes to unless it's Gilmer. Gilmer, we may have another big crowd for Gilmer because that could be a big one too.
I went to a bunch in Tennessee for a few years there. Don't compare.
This is big time right here. I've been to some big football games outside of just outside of a state championship game. Man, I've been to some big time Longview, Lufkin, things like that. Atmosphere here tonight, there's just a buzz in the air.
There is a buzz.
Close to kick off. We're about 12 and a half minutes out. Every single person's on their feet right now.
I'm getting butterflies in my stomach, and I'm not even playing. I mean, this is just an incredible
what an experience
atmosphere
for these kids, though, and not just the ones on the field, but the ones cheering for their classmates and the students and showstoppers, and just to be able to be in front of their people. These are their people that are supporting them tonight.
And to be honest with you, this feels bigger and a bigger atmosphere than a playoff game for me.
Oh yeah, number one against number two is just this is crazy. You know, I'm so glad we have two coaches, and Surratt and Coach Gibson. You know, I asked Surratt on the show, I said, hey, when's the last time somebody scheduled you for a homecoming game? He just laughed. He's like, I don't think anybody's ever scheduled us for a homecoming game. He said, but man, this is what it's all about right here. This is what makes it so special. If we can, let's get a camera on the players coming into the field, coming down the stands. Everybody's on their feet right now, man. What a time. Nick Martin leading them. He was my favorite player. Nick Martin leading them. Look at this. Hey, Craig. Let me skip by.
You want to sit right here?
Yeah, have a seat. We have our homecoming queen, Georgia Cobb, with us. Did you think, like, fairy tale, win homecoming queen, and have this kind of crowd?
I did not even imagine ever winning homecoming queen or being in front of this crowd. It's crazy. So crazy.
When they announced your name, we were looking at your brother, and I think he was more excited than you were.
He knew I was so nervous all day because I get so nervous so easily. It's like a way of kind of coping with it. I know that's so different, but I was nervous all day, and he was like, calm down, you got this. And I was like, okay, I didn't believe him.
Congratulations, young lady. My boys, I don't know if you know Macaulay and Drew Langford.
Yes, sir.
They speak so highly of you. Every time I've spoke to them, they're like, she's the sweetest girl we know. So I just wanted to let you know that.
You won, and people are literally like, great character, beautiful young lady, does everything the right way. Congratulations. Thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you.
Great job on picking out. Great job, Georgia.
I finished a volleyball game about 30 minutes ago.
That's what they were saying. Let's do this. The Pleasant Grove players are about to run out of the tunnel. Man, this is exciting time right here. Greg, what do you think about this right here?
Oh, it's really nice. I'm just excited that it's not 98 degrees right now.
Well, I would still be excited if it was 98 degrees with this kind of quality football we're about to watch.
I'm not going to lie to you, though. This makes me feel a lot better for me. I love this weather. I love it.
Man, I'm glad to see my boy Nick coming down and leading the team, man. Nick
looked like he was highly upset.
Yeah, I think he's one of the most underrated players in the state of Texas.
And there's no one more pumped up on the field than Nick, too. He's an exciting player.
This is going to be great. This is going to be great. Every single person right now is on their feet in the stands. This is a crazy environment. Carthage brought a huge crowd, too, man. The entire other side of the stadium, there's Carthage people everywhere.
City of Carthage is definitely shut down.
Oh, yeah. See Dr. Young's watching. Shout out to Dr. Young. Man, he did so great this morning. It's so much fun having him on when he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see some cutouts of Nick Martin up in the stands. Mark Burris.
Oh, man.
There ain't nothing better than cutouts.
Nothing better than this right here.
I hear a helicopter. There it is, circling around up top.
The University of Arkansas helicopter carrying the head coach, University of Arkansas. What an entrance to make.
Right on time, too.
Right on time.
Boy, he is on time, isn't he?
Now that's awesome right there. Hey, that's big time right there, guys.
Yeah. What was I? It's up to you. Okay. All right. Superintendent Pirtle's going to go meet Coach Morris. Well, look at this. This guy's circling the field. What are you talking about making an entrance? He's going to circle the field on us.
Oh, that's
How awesome
great.
is that?
That is great.
It's fixing to get loud because these boys are fixing to come.
I do remember when I was in 6th grade and a lot of coaches showed up in helicopters to watch me play.
I've only seen it one time. I've seen it when I saw Nick Saban fly in the
there. I was at that game.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm like, whoa.
They come in to watch the big running back.
Look at it. Circling the football field right here. Man. And he's even slowed down. It's hard to get a camera on this. But University of Arkansas helicopter carrying the head coach is circling the stadium right now. This guy knows how to make an entrance. And he's slowed way down, too. Can we get a camera on this? Can we get a camera on this helicopter?
Is the assistant coach Traylor with him?
I think Coach Traylor is with him.
Coach Traylor with him? East Texas legend Jeff Traylor may be in there too.
Man, this is like nothing I've ever seen.
Oh, that's awesome right there, boy. Hey. Yeah.
Jennifer, can we get a shot of this? What a way to make an entrance. How exciting is that?
That is great, guys.
Oh, man. That's big time right there.
Well, and what's great is that's just part of the atmosphere tonight, being able to get Coach Morris coming in, as well as all the recruiters that we're going to have tonight. It's going to be good for the players.
They timed that perfect.
So, we got Jackson Cobb here with us. Your boys are about to run out. Here they come, your Pleasant Grove Hawks. Environment this is.
So Jackson, are they ready to play? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Be honest. This has been circled since last year, hasn't it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Number one game. This has been the one.
Let's talk football here in just a second. How proud are you of your sister?
Oh yeah, I already knew she was gonna win. I told her, I was like, you have nothing to be worried about. She was worrying all week about it. I was like,
that's a really big moment for her.
Yeah.
It was reported that you started crying over there.
Nah.
You sure about that?
Down his face.
Jackson, she's your twin, isn't she?
Yeah.
That's what I thought so.
Yeah, twin sister.
I thought so. She's a little prettier than you are, though. I mean, I'm gonna throw that out
She's
there.
supposed to be.
That's
She's
pretty
supposed
big.
to be.
I don't know about all that.
That's got to feel special, though, to see your sister win homecoming.
Yeah, it is for sure.
Let's take a moment.
Let's go to the national anthem.
Yeah, let's take a moment to honor America. We're
4 minutes from game time.
Less than 4 minutes away from kickoff.
Jackson, man, we really hated to see you get hurt that very first week. I mean, I know it's just heartbreaking. But tell me, what is the mood and feel and vibe been this week?
Some people say homecoming is like a distraction or whatever. I think it just gets us pumped up. Yeah. Like we've been pumped up all week. Nobody's been able to sleep. We've just been thinking of this moment right here the whole week. Even me, I'm not even playing.
Did y'all enjoy this morning?
Oh yeah,
good time?
I loved it. Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What are we going to see? I mean, they're about to play. Tell us what we're going to see from PG on offense tonight.
We're going to come out firing. We're going to play our game. That's what we're going to do, and play it hard every snap. I'm not worried.
So defensive side of the football, are they having to scheme any different for a team like this?
This Carthage has a lot of different formations and stuff. That's just all we got to adjust to, really. Just more adjustments than usual, but nothing else really.
I expect them to throw a lot tonight.
I do too.
Have you seen anything extra that maybe the coach has been working on this week as far as our cornerbacks? Because I mean, I think they're going to get thrown at tonight.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think they'll step up, but I mean, it's going to be a good scoring game tonight.
Yeah. Really, he's just trying to do the same thing we've been doing every week. Chapel Hill, they threw a lot last week, but I expect Carthage to throw
Jackson
more than they do usually.
Heard Jamie got hurt last week, and to me, he's a big part of stopping the run for y'all. Y'all think y'all have someone to fill the good void for y'all there?
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Stopping the run, we're going to stop the run. I'm not worried about that.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, we are 2 minutes to kickoff. Fans are on their feet. We're a little close to the field. Join us back for our halftime show. We'll tell you everything we saw and bring you the Pleasant Grove, Bionic
Band. They're having their full performance tonight.
I know. I'm excited to see
it.
They're really, really good. So we'll see you at halftime. Thanks for watching.